Hey there. I've been wanting to do videos, OPS videos, just expressing some of the thoughts that I've been having. I've been having some problem because I created, or my thoughts on making videos was that I was going to practice my blast. Um, and I'm having difficulty with that because I wanted to have slides that would help me along. To my blast because then they can help me get things more concise. However, I use Google Slides and I don't have a record button. I don't know why. At my work, there's a record button and I can film myself while going through my slides. And at home, I don't have that. I'm trying to figure it out. And I have to admit, I haven't been spending a lot of time on it because it isn't something that I find to be very fun. Or that I feel like I don't get very far and the things I've tried haven't worked. So it's a bit frustrating. I think I tried an app that let me record, but it only let me do that on the first slide. So it's been at a standstill. And I thought I would just make some videos of my thoughts without the slides. Although if I figure out how to make the slides, I might redo those videos. We will see. So I'm going to do a small little introduction, and this video is for people who have already know what OPS is, Objective Personality System. They've studied it somewhere else and they just happened upon this video. So I'm not going into any terminology. I'm not going into any basic information on what it is. I'm just gonna give the introduction on what my type is, my OPS type is. So I'm double feminine, SEFI, consume, sleep, play, blast. And blast last, that's why I want to practice my blast. And yeah, I'm a little bummed out. But we will see because I did make some slides and I just making those and taking the time to do it and make them the way I wanted them. Not like perfect, but doable. And to not be able to have a video. So I'm just going to do some random things, I guess, because without slides, it's going to be randomness. So without further ado, some of my thoughts, they're going to be mostly observer thoughts that I have about observer things. So I'm a single observer with OE. I got these exercise bands. There's different resistance. So let's see, try them out. So I want to work on, I've been having shoulder problems, and then I saw like top shoulder neck, but mostly I think shoulder-ish. Okay, this one's not as resistant. I have a feeling it's gonna snap on me. The other one better be more stretchy because I want to use it to like bring my arm down, all the way down, and I don't want to, gosh, right there, it's just itchy. It was yesterday too. Don't know. Okay, the pink one, let's see if it's the stretchiest. Kind of is, I think. And I can't really stretch it all the way down. These aren't like the ones at the gym. I think, maybe if I play with them some more, but they'll stretch out a little more. Anyway, so my first observer thought, the one that I made the video on, was about how to get out of observer freakout if you were lead SE. It could pertain to OEs, all of the above, but since I am SE and I am talking from my experience, I really just want to focus on me. And if it helps you, fantastic. So one thing I find is, as a single observer, we have, and the other single observers out there, you can have observer freak out. And that is basically when you come across a situation that causes a little distress, and the answer is to use your opposite observer function. However, in a freak out zone, in the stress zone, It is not something that is as easy conscious to do because the SE is our default mode, or OE, but SE is default mode for me. So, and you can feel stuck in the situation, like, where do I start? Where do I start? Things can feel overwhelming. Where do I start? Right? So I think when it happens, well, one, I think the first thing is to recognize there's a solution, right? Just say there is a solution. And right here, I'm going to tell you a solution and strategy that I use, okay? And basically what I do is I define the problem, okay? And keep it simple. Don't make it complicated, okay? Just say, like, if you could say, like, oh, stressed out. I want to not be stressed. You could say my car's broken. I want my car to be fixed. You know, kind of the opposite of where you are now is usually the goal. The goal is to not be in the overwhelmed zone. I'm overwhelmed. I want to not be overwhelmed. You know, just keep it simple. Okay. And then when you have your goal, you're going to take the goal and you're going to make that if you're going to write this down, your goal will be the header on the page, which was in my Zoom slide. It was the top. And your goal is to not be stressed, okay? And then and that's your NI goal. Ding, 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 ding. Okay? That's your NI goal. And your 5-year plan. Okay? Hopefully not 5 years. More like 1 day or 1 hour or 1 week. You know, it's, and sometimes, yeah, a few weeks, who knows? Okay, depends what the problem is. It could be like, I got laid off and now I want a job. I'm failing a class and I want to pass the class, right? So those things might take a little longer, but, you know, not 5 years. So what you do is you put your end goal, which is the opposite, on top of the page, if you were to write this down. And it would say, let's just say and the one I used was, you have an assignment and the assignment is to write a 10-page research paper. Now that could sound very overwhelming because one, it requires, you can't really do it all in 1 day. Now I know people do. I know people do. I know they do. The thing is, you don't want to, right? Because a lot of times when people do that, you're like, God, this wasn't that hard. I could have done this, piecemealed it all along, right? So what you're going to do is, let's just say it's the 10-page paper, okay? Complete the 10-page paper. 10-page paper is completed. That is the end goal, the NI, the vision of the future. And you're going to go backwards. What's the step right before that, right? And so when I was doing the 10-page paper, I was thinking, okay, well, the very last thing I would probably create would be the reference page. Now, I suppose I could edit it. Now, I guess I could edit it after the reference page, but this was my thoughts. Is like, it could be like, as I'm talking it out here, you'll see that no plan is exactly alike for everyone. So it could be, okay, my next to last step is to write the reference page. And then the step before that would be to edit it. And the step before that would be to write the last 2 pages, because I was thinking I could easily write 2 pages a day. So I'm going to make a goal of 2 pages per day. And then it'd be like page 9, 10, 7, 8, 5, 6. I'm sorry, 6, 7, 4, 5. Oh, God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I say it? Saying it backwards is somewhat challenging. And then it could be then researching the topic and then blah, blah, blah. And give yourself like reasonable time. And if you're unsure and like, add some padding. So research, you might say, well, it might take me a while to research because I don't really know what my topic's going to be. And perhaps even if I know a topic and choose a topic quickly, what if I can't find enough material, reference material to draw from? You know, I don't want to just make stuff up. You can't, because you need references, and, you know, it's going to be a scientifically researched paper. Not just scientific, but, you know, I mean, evidence proof, SE proof, okay? SE, got the SE, don't just NI. It's just NI guess. You got to put the SE references. So anyway, so I would give myself several days to research it. And anyway, as you go backwards, and maybe you make a day where, and then you're like, oh, I'm not going to work on this like every single day. I can't do that. I have other things coming up. I have to work. I have other classes. Then you're going to reasonably do what you can do. And then if there is a deadline, and you might want to choose to give yourself a deadline if there's not one, then you count up how many days it takes for you to do that, and set reasonable deadlines. And the thing here is be reasonable. Understand, because when you make a plan, you do something in advance, you can give yourself time to do it. You're not going to do it all the night before. So give yourself the time it takes. Give yourself a day. You're going to go to the movies one day. You don't have to write anything that day. When you do things in advance, that's the beauty of it, right? You all of a sudden have time for SE experiences. So, that is how to overcome an SE observer freak out and use your NI to find the goal and make a plan. Okay, so the other topic that I want to talk about was called SE Nuggets. That was my title, SE Nuggets. And the nuggets are like, how when you go to mine for gold, you're like sifting in that, because people do it when you're young, right? You go to like a field trip and you're mining for gold and you're sifting through the sieve, and you're looking for the gold. And so the nugget that you find, the gold nugget, this is same, SE Nugget. This is SE, valuable SE, because as a lead SE, we want to gather it all. We want all the SEs. I want the pink band, the green band, and the blue band. They're mine. But if I want to do a special workout, do I really need the green, the red, the blue, the yellow? No, I need the one band that works, right? So I need to find the SE Nugget. And this is a way to find SE Nugget. Don't waste your time on bad SE, okay? What is bad SE? Well, if you don't know already, I'm going to tell you that we are all unreliable narrators of our own lives. What does that mean? Well, when you studied OPS, when you're first learning OPS, and you learned that people type themselves backwards, and that you probably weren't going to get your type right. That's what I call unreliable narration. Also, when you ask someone, once you get one side, oh, did you ever watch Derek Delgado's show where he does, it's the one that was on Hulu, I believe, where he does the whole elephant thing with all the different guys, who have one piece of the elephant, and they're feeling it, and they're like, oh, it's this. The guy's got the tail and the ears. And they all say something different, but it's not until you piece together all their perspectives that you understand it's an elephant. So that's kind of like let's just say someone tells you about their bad experience with a person, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a working environment, a school environment, a grocery store incident, whatever, a road rage incident. When they tell you their perspective, their side of the story, you have one piece of the elephant. Do you know that? You have one piece of the elephant. Now, I'm not saying the full perspective is as big as an elephant and you need to gather 15, but I don't know. I mean, do we ever really know? Oh, there's this quote by Robert Anton Wilson, and he says, I don't even know what anything is, right? The word is. Do you even know what anything is? And I think this really encapsulates that, is how many perspectives does it take to really understand the truth, okay? So that's what I'm saying. So unreliable narration is believing the big capital T truth from one observer person, one person. One person equals one observer, and I don't mean that in a function way, I mean that as in a person way. So the one observer person, the one perspective, you get one perspective, and it's bad SE. It's bad SE. If someone were to say, this is, oh, I just started learning OPS and this is the type I think I am, that's one perspective. Now, do we treat them like they're suspicious? No, because one, it doesn't matter to us what their OPS is. You know, I mean, there's just some things you don't treat people like crap. But, sorry. That's like when you go to, oh, have you ever heard of eyewitness testimony and how it is unreliable? And it's what puts people, guilty verdicts on the death chamber, erroneously. Usually stuff based on eyewitness testimony, you need evidence, right? Beyond a preposterous evidence of the doubt. And that's what you're looking for. So, when, you know, so I'm not saying treat people like side-eye, but I'm just saying that it's bad SE, right? So don't make any big D decisions on this bad SE. What is good SE? What are the SE nuggets, you ask? It's probably really what you wanted to know the whole time, right? Okay. And you might know, knowing now what bad SE is. Maybe now you yourself know what is an SE nugget. Well, let me tell you what an SE nugget is. Okay. Now here's the thing. If you're going to make a decision about something, if I am, okay, because like I said, I'm talking from my perspective as SEFI. If I'm going to FI make a decision about something, what do I need? I need FI. Okay, so how am I going to get the FI? Well, it's how I feel about something, and I'm pretty neutral, somewhat suspicious of those bad SE. So good SE is if someone says, listen, here's my OPS type, bad SE, good SE. Go on an adventure with the person. Go, you know how some people say to get to know a person, you go on a trip with them, a road trip, you move in with them. That's because they're saying you're gathering good SE. You know what else is bad SE? Now that we're talking about how to get to know people, is when you're dating and you have a checklist, okay? You know how many people say, well, I'm not saying like everybody says this, but I hear it, and it is, they were good on paper. That is bad SE. That's based on bad SE. You look at someone and say they meet the checklist, but really what they need to meet is the interaction and the positive feeling that they give you and the positivity that they bring in your life and the value they bring in your life. Not, you know, you assume, excuse me, you assume because you look on you check the list. Maybe, okay, someone else in your life had these checklists and you enjoyed it, but doesn't mean that that's what brings the good interaction. Not necessarily. So anyway, I'm just saying that bad SE is, good SE is more like you experienced it, I experienced it, and I built my own FI around it, right? Because if I'm just going to go off of what someone says, well, then I'm going to FI be suspicious and not trust it. But then I might not trust anything, and that's not really good. So I think I prefer to have experiences. And if you can't get it, don't fret. Just say, hey, I can't make a big D decision right now. And so we're not going to make a big D decision about it. I need more SE. I need the certain kind of SE I want. Until then, don't rush me into a D decision. Decider. By D, I mean decider. Decision, which is the FITIFETE. Right? I don't want to be rushed into that. And actually, I don't know if with the TEFE people, if their decision is their introverted one anyway. They just use the extroverted one as a means to the end. But so that was another topic, and there were several others that I want to talk about that are on my phone, and I don't have my phone on me. I don't want to get my phone. This video is 19, I'm looking at the time, 19 minutes and 37 seconds right now, and it is, so we're going to be done with it, and I don't know how much consume story I gave you, but it wasn't the worst. Probably wasn't a good blaster story, but hey, We're trying here, and the goal is one step closer to our goal, and that is, I met that goal. Can I meet the other goal? I don't know. That's just the goal. If that's the only goal, is to go one step closer, you met the goal. And actually, that is kind of NI, right? To get to NI, all you think is one step closer each day, one step closer. You don't think grand scheme. You think one step closer. Did you ever see the movie Baby? No. What about Bob with Bill Murray, Baby Steppin'? He's just baby stepping to his NI. I'm kind of curious, what is Bob's OPS type? Now, Bill Murray, he might have been typed. I believe he might have been. But the Bob character, I don't think he's the same as Murray. But I'm going to have to watch that movie again. I love that movie. One of my favorite movies. Yeah. Dr. Marvin, Dr. Leo Marvin. Remember when he's in the gas station? I think that's a cult classic, or maybe it's just a mainstream popular one. Not sure. Anyways, we're done now, and we will have more to come, hopefully slides, Google Slides with a video or something cheap and free for now, because this is not a career. This is for fun, and if I'm not having fun, we're not having fun. You know what I'm saying? All right.